Alright guys, welcome back. I thought I'd put out a video this week just to show you what we've been looking at in the room so far this week. There's a couple of opportunities to pay attention to going into the week. We've got non-farms on Friday, but really at the end of the video I wanted to share with you an amazing announcement that we made. Lots of people underestimate the value of the community and the mentorship and the people that you're surrounding yourself with in these rooms. And this week, one of the community members recognized the determination and dedication of one of the other traders and ended up paying for a full year's subscription to the room for that member, just to give them that extra support, that extra nudge. And you know, that really says a lot about how tight the community is and how you get motivated by the like-minded people in the room. So pay attention to that at the end. Look out for that at the end. It's amazing. I wanted to share it with you guys, and I hope you enjoy the video. This is the Aussie CAD, 4-hour time frame, been consolidating, moving sideways, and there's a couple of pattern formations forming in this consolidation zone. So the first one is the orange bat, which is 0776. If market pushes down, we've got a bat formation at that level, and we've also got this purple Gartley, which is a deep Gartley formation. If we bring on our fib retracement tool, you're going to see that we push right down into the 618. Okay, which is going to give us a Gartley formation entry at 97.73. Now, what does this mean? Well, remember when we're building out kill zones, we want to think like as many other traders as possible. What are the other traders thinking? How many people trade? If you're looking at structure-based trades, how many traders are looking at ABCD? How many traders are looking at Fibonacci failure 382? How many traders are looking for free drives? How many traders are looking for I don't know, Elliott waves? How many traders are just trading off of structure? Well, what we've got here is two trading strategies, highly profitable trading strategies. Okay, and if you've backtested the Gartley and backtested the bat formation, you'll know the results of those, right? And we've got two of those completing in the same level, within 3 pips of each other. So would you say that this is a good level for entry into a trade here? Of course, because we've got all of the traders that just trade bats, all of the traders that just trade Gartleys, we've got the traders that trade all patterns, right? But there's 2 of them completing here. So when you've got 2 patterns completing in the same zone, that's a higher probability trading opportunity than just 1 pattern, for instance. Does that make sense? So, a couple of swing trades setting up here, and if we get filled, I'm just going to draw out the... I'll be taking the Gartley because it's the further pattern. We've got the X leg at the same place, but I'm just going to draw out the risk reward for the Gartley. Because that's what I'll be getting involved with, and there's only 3 pips between it. So if you front run your orders, you know, depending on how many pips you front run your orders by, I'll be taking the Gartley. So I'm just going to draw out the Gartley, and you can see the risk reward on this is going to be pretty good because it's a deep Gartley formation, and I'll be taking conventional targets because we're in consolidation. So target 1 will be at the 382 retracement. As per my testing, 98.18, and target 2 up at the 618. It's a good looking risk reward. 1.5 to 1 sort of trade that we want to get involved with. So pound dollar then. Pound dollar on the daily, we're consolidating. We came down, we put in this little double bottom down here, but since then we've just been consolidating in this zone here. So you can see we've been channeling, moving sideways in this zone, and as we do that, what do you guys think that I look for? There's no trend continuation stuff going on here because we're in consolidation. which the markets are around 70 to 80% of the time, sorry. So yeah, all I'll look for is my consolidation patterns. Now as we drop down to the 240, you're going to see we've got this CYPHER that we spotted last week setting up. We've pulled right down. We haven't broken the B leg yet. Okay, we haven't broken the B leg, but we are pushing down. Can anyone see any potential issues with this pattern for me? I'm going to explain this in a little bit of detail, because I do get a lot of questions. Stop loss, yes. So stop loss. So my stop loss is a 113 inversion below X. Okay, so if I use a 113 inversion, my stop loss is going to go at 28.24. Right? 28.24. Now I've got a maximum stop loss limit of 100 pips, which means that the lowest, or the highest, I should say, the highest that I can enter is 29.24. So 29.24 plus front running my orders, so that's going to put me down at 29.20 on this 4-hour chart. So 29.20. I front run my orders by 4 pips on the 240, so that's where I can enter. I now know that I can't enter there, but I can enter here. What that means is once price action pushes down, I'll be keeping an eye on it if it gets filled at this level. Because if we do this and hit conventional 382 targets, then I can't get involved at this level. But if price action continues to just push straight down without hitting that 382, and what I'll be doing is I'll be bringing on my fib retracement and I'll be measuring that down as price action pushes down to make sure that if price action comes up, we don't hit that 382. So as long as it doesn't hit the 382 and we come straight down into my my entry, then I can enter this aggressively. I'll get a much better risk reward for a CYPHER formation. And what I'll be looking at is taking conventional targets, which you can see are going to give me a 1 1/3 to 1 risk reward to target ones. And I'll be taking two targets. So target 1 at 382, which is at 30.57, and target 2 will be at 31.42 at the 618 retracement. So that's how I'll be handling this. But remember, I won't be able to get involved in this if price action pushes up and hits the 382 before filling this zone down here. Alright, so euro dollar then. But as you can see, how price action is reacting on this lower time frame. Anyone see this? Anyone spot a setup in this area? I know some of you guys trade this. Gav's got it straight away. Yep, 26.18. So we've got equal highs, bearish divergence on the RSI, putting in a double top, followed by a break of this retracement, followed by a pullback up into the 618, push right up into that 618, and then we violated this low as well. So you guys that trade 26.18, you would have hit target ones, and maybe you had target twos and extension or next structure level, but we've come down to this structure level now. You might be looking for a pullback and then look to reload and then get involved in a move to the downside. This could be your reversal pattern. You're looking to get short. And because of our double top up here and the way that we've retraced and we've violated this structure level and we've pushed back up and broken down and put in a new low, okay, this screams reversal. Screams reversal, right? So as we drop down to the 60, although we've got this double bottom here, I think that I'm predicting that this market's going to continue down now. So what we're looking at is this channel here. Looking at this channel here, we're just consolidating in this zone. Consolidation breeds patterns, right? But if it's not moving a lot, then it's very difficult to earn money. We did have a couple of patterns setting up, but you can see we have actually, although we haven't violated this previous structure level looking left, we're sort of broken out of this channel here that we were looking at last week. We've broken out of that channels. Could see some further movement to the upside. Looking out on the dailies, we put in this double bottom down here. The double bottom formed at previous structure resistance becomes support. So bang, becomes support out on the higher time frames. And then we put in this violation of this retracement, giving us a 26.18 trading opportunity. Now I know some of you guys entered this down here. There's a couple of you that trade the dailies, and you'll be looking for a retest of the highs here. You know, I know some of you guys got involved. It's not pain-free because we've been moving sideways ever since. And if you entered at the 618, you probably we pushed right down into the 786 anyway. So you've probably been in the red for a long time. You just come out of that, and you're looking for a retest of these highs. Now, if you hit that, it's a great profit. A lot of money to be had out of that trade, with a 1-to-1 risk reward if your stops were an ATR below this low or this spike. But since then, we've just been moving sideways. Now you can see we've just had this higher close out of this little channel here that we've been in, and we could start to see this market move up. But for now, there's not really anything. There's no confirmed trend. Okay, there's no confirmed trend, so nothing trend continuation wise. Right, we've just broken out of this this level here. We're still pushed up. We held this level of previous structure. Let's delete that. Previous structure resistance. Right, resistance, resistance, resistance. Okay, what I'll be looking for here, guys, is a break and close above this high. So just like what we was looking at on the New Zealand dollar, as soon as we can get a break and close above this high, I can look for a pullback, and then I can build out that kill zone, right? So we can't really do a lot at the moment. We don't know where this move's going to finish. We don't know what's going to happen. We've come down into previous structure resistance. So we know this channel held. We break out, we come down, become support. So what we're looking at is a break and close above this high, and then a pullback for a trend continuation trade. But if market continues to push straight down, what we've got is a potential bat formation down here at 113.33, looking at X to A to B, B to C, B to C, and a CD completion down at 113.33. New Zealand dollar. So look, we're still holding 7,300 on the higher time frame. We've seen a relief again. We've seen a knockback again at this level. Right, what we're seeing is higher lows. We're seeing bang, 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 bang on the door. As we drop down to the 240, look what we did. What's this? What's this? And what did we say last week? We said we're seeing bang, 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 bang on the door. We're putting in higher lows as we go. What we normally see is a breakthrough, and that's what we did. We broke through, put in a new structure high, which signifies what? Bullish continuation. So what we've done is we broke through the door. Oh, we're tired after all that knocking at the door, right? Trying to break it down. We finally broke through. We have a rest, see some relief. We're a bit tired. Decent opportunity for a trend continuation trade, right? Now, what I needed to happen here, I can actually look at this level for a protective level for stops. And the beauty of a double bottom is you're placing stops at a level where you want to be out of the market as soon as you know you're wrong, right? So if you're looking at this as a double bottom, well, your ATR is 11, 12 pips. So say 15 pips below this low, right? 15 pips below this low is going to put you at 71.95. Well, your risk is only like this much, right? Your risk is only this much, and if you're looking at this as a trend continuation, well then you're shooting for a retest of the highs, which is going to put you, even if you're shooting for a retest of this high, you're going to get a 1-to-1, more than a 1-to-1. Maybe you take target ones there, but if you're shooting for a retest of the highs, right, look at that. I'd risk 25 pips to gain, what's this? 25 pips to gain 125. Any day. Look good? Good luck with that. Okay, did anyone see, oh, you wouldn't have seen it, but over the weekend I watched, or last night I watched Eddie the Eagle. Who's seen Eddie the Eagle? Anyone? Or know Eddie the Eagle's story? No? No. He's a legend. Yeah. Well, Eddie the Eagle, I just want to take 5 minutes to tell you about Eddie the Eagle. Eddie the Eagle was a kid who had leg braces, right? He had leg braces and he told his parents that he wanted to become an Olympian. He wanted to be in the Olympics. And his parents, his dad said, no, you're not going to be an Olympian. You're going to learn a trade. You're going to become a plasterer. And his mum wasn't the most supportive at first either. And everyone he came into contact with basically told him that he couldn't be an Olympian. So he went. He one day he just stole his dad's van. He managed to get some money off of his mum, and he just went over to Austria, or I think it was Austria, and he just basically started to ski the slopes. He started to he was going for the winter games, and he wanted to do the become a jumper, a ski jumper in the Olympics. And he basically just went for suicide. He just went up the hill and got on some skis and went down a 40-meter hill, and then he went the 70-meter hill, and he was just destroying himself. He had no training, and everyone in Austria was telling him that you'll never be a jumper. There was no one in the British team that was doing this since 1929 or something like that. And there was no one else doing it. And he just carried on because he loved it. He said, I want to be an Olympian. I need to be an Olympian. I want to be in the Olympics. This is my dream. And no matter how many people were putting it against him, he was determined to succeed. Absolutely determined to succeed. So what he did is he just carried on until eventually an old coach who worked the grounds just came up to him and said, look, man, I've seen you falling down these hills. You can't keep doing that to yourself. I'm gonna help you. I'm going to help you. And he said, listen, I'm going to be in the Olympics next year. In 1988, I'm going to be in the Olympics. And he needed a certain distance to qualify. And the people who were on the board in the Olympics were making it very hard for him. They didn't want him in there because he was from, the wrong background, or didn't have the qualities that the other Olympians had. Anyway, he managed to finally make the distance, and he qualified for the Olympics. And when he did, he got to the Olympics. He did the jump on the 70-meter jump, and people went mad for him. You could see that he was so passionate about it. It wasn't about the jump. It wasn't about the result. It was just about the fact that he'd achieved something that no one else had, and he was just over the moon. And then he said, well, I'm going to go for the 90-meter jump. And they were like, you're crazy. You're absolutely crazy. And people loved him for it. And anyway, so to cut a long, well, this is a long story, but to really cut a long story short, the message is, he knew what he wanted to do. He loved it, and he stuck at it. No matter how many people were telling him not to do it, he just kept going and going and going and going. Even though people were saying, don't do it, you can't do it, you're never going to do it. And there was times when he thought, perhaps everyone's right. Perhaps everyone's right. But if you've got something, a passion inside of you and a dream that you want to achieve something, don't listen. Don't listen. And that resonates well with quite a few members of this room. Since we've had this room going, since the 1st of December 2015. There's been a certain members in this room who, you can just see, no matter how many times they're knocked back, how many times they are, are told that, or they struggle and then they're not quite where they want to be. You see them shine through. And one of those guys is Florent. Florent, are you here? I can see you're in the room, but we're going to take a break in just a minute. Well, Florent is one of those guys who wrote to me back, I think I've got his trade plan. I'm not going to show everyone's trade plan, right? I'm not going to show you a trade plan, but I'll show a piece of his trade plan, which was dated the 19th of January 2016. Okay, and this guy's got kids. This guy has to deal with kids, work. Look, listen to some music on the way to work or listen to trading podcasts. Go through trade plan, check an economic calendar, perform top-down analysis, have a good breakfast. These are his golden rules, right? Don't go broke. This was the 1st of January, the 19th of January 2016. This guy has been Eddie the Eagle. Along many others, right? Many others in the room. But what I want to say is, just like that coach that recognised Eddie had a passion and a talent, this stuff gets recognised. And I'm quite overwhelmed to say that the recognition of Florent's dedication to his trading has meant that someone has offered to pay for his full year subscription to this room so he can concentrate, right, on other areas of his trading without the hassle of worrying about a subscription fee to the room. Right? Someone has paid his full year subscription up to, I think it's December 2017. Now, what does that say about a community? That is absolutely amazing. So I just want to say, a big round of applause to Florent, who has absolutely given everything to this. He's completely invested in his business. Right? There's been hard times, there's been setbacks, there's been grief, but guess what? It's nothing that I didn't go through, and I have no doubt that you will get to where you want to be. Right? So, Florent, well done. I'm going to give a big round of applause. And on that note, man, I'm going to cut to the break, but absolutely well done, Florent. That's amazing.